Hello everyone, welcome to my class. Last class we were discussed about amines, classification, nomenclature and some preparation methods of amines like Hoffman bromide reaction, Gabriel phthalimide synthesis, Schmidt reaction and from amide. So few synthesis we were studied in the last class. So in this class we are going to discuss about physical properties of amines and phase transfer catalyst, which is very important, as well as few chemical properties also today we are going to discuss. So first let us see what are the physical properties of amines. Amines, in the amines, as we discussed earlier, amines are classified into total three types. One is primary amine, secondary amine and tertiary amine. Another one is the quaternary ammonium salt. So here the primary and secondary amines exhibits the intermolecular hydrogen bond. Hence, primary and secondary amines have high boiling points as compared to the tertiary amine. If you see here, this is the primary amine. In this amine, nitrogen which is attached to the hydrogen. Here, nitrogen is a more electronegative atom which is directly attached to the hydrogen. Now, this molecule which makes this hydrogen which makes the hydrogen bond with the another molecule of the nitrogen atom, that is called as a hydrogen bond. Whereas in tertiary amine, there is no hydrogens around the nitrogen, hence it won't involve in a formation of the hydrogen bond. Hence, primary secondary amines have high boiling points, whereas tertiary amine does not have the much boiling point. And coming to the basic nature of amines, as we are all know, all the amines having the basic nature. Hence, all the amines are acting as a Lewis bases. Why? Because here amines on the nitrogen which contain which contain the lone pair of electrons. Hence, they are acting as a bases. But amines here are basic in nature, like ammonia. Due to the presence of lone pair of electrons on nitrogen, all the amines or ammonia are acting as a Lewis bases. As compared to ammonia, amines basic strength is more. What is the reason? Let us see. This is the ammonia. Here around the nitrogen, here three hydrogen groups are present, whereas here in this is the primary amine, because around the nitrogen only one alkyl group is present. So here what will happen? Because alkyl group is always act as a plus IE group, that means plus inductive effective group, which donates sigma bonding electrons towards to the nitrogen. So here, as compared to ammonia, in this primary amine, the electron density will be more. Hence, the basic strength of this ethyl amine compared to ammonia is more. Here, the Kb value, that means basic strength value here 1.8 to 10 power of 5. Here it is the 5.5 into 10 power of minus 4. That means as compared to ammonia, alkyl amines basic strength is more, because here alkyl groups are acting as a plus IE groups. Then if we see the comparison of basic strength of primary, secondary and tertiary amines, here in this ammonia, no plus IE groups, that means no alkyl groups, so 0 plus IE groups. Whereas here in this primary amine, only one alkyl group is present, that means 1 plus IE group. Whereas in this secondary amine, two alkyl groups are present, hence 2 plus IE groups. Whereas in tertiary amine, 3 alkyl groups are present, hence which is having the 3 plus IE group. As we are all know, as plus IE groups are increases, plus IE groups are nothing but which increases, which donates its sigma bonding electrons towards to the nitrogen. So as plus IE groups increases, basic strength also should increase. So basic strength order is tertiary amine, then secondary amine, then primary amine, then last one is ammonia. But here one is exemption is there. here, because in this tertiary amine, which is nitrogen, which is connected with three alkyl groups. So here, because of presence of three alkyl groups in the tertiary amine, steric hindrance is present. Hence, tertiary amine, due to the steric hindrance, which basic strength is less as compared to the secondary amine and primary amine. So the basic strength order is secondary amine, more basic strength, then the primary amine, then only tertiary amine. Generally, if you see the observation according to the plus IE groups, tertiary amine basic strength should be more. But because of the steric hindrance, this tertiary amine basic strength is less as compared to the secondary as well as primary amine. So if you see the methylamines, so basic strength order is dimethylamine, this is the secondary amine, then methylamine, this is the primary amine, then last one is the trimethylamine, this is the tertiary amine. Similarly, if you see the basic strength order of ethylamines, so first one is the diethylamine, is having the more basic strength, this is the secondary amine, then ethylamine, this is the primary amine, next one is the triethylamine. So this basic strength order will follow in the aqueous solution, because in aqueous solutions which follows the hydrogen bonds. So these are the basic strength orders. Similarly, if you see the comparison of the basic strength of ethylamine as well as aniline, because this is the ethylamine, this is the aniline structure, this is the aliphatic amine, whereas this one is the example of aromatic amine. So here, this one is the primary amine, which containing one alkyl group. One alkyl group is nothing but having one plus IE group, whereas this one is the aromatic amine, which is also primary amine, but here which is connected with the benzene ring. Benzene ring is acting as a minus IE group, and here because which is having no double bonds, this compound is having no double bonds, hence in this structure no resonance is possible. But whereas here this lone pair of electrons and benzene ring double bonds which are having the conjugation, hence this nitrogen lone pair of electrons which are involved in a resonance. And because of these two factors, one is here which is having the plus IE group, that means electron donating group, whereas this compound is having the minus IE group, is nothing but electron withdrawing group. And another factor, in this compound no resonance structures are possible, because here in this compound no double bonds are present. But whereas here nitrogen lone pair of electrons and benzene double bonds are in conjugation, whence this compound involves in a resonance. So because of these two factors, this ethylamine or alkyl amines having the more basic strength, this Kb value is 5.1 into 10 power of minus 4, whereas this compound basic strength is less, that is the Kb value is 4.2 to 10 power of minus 10. If you see the resonance structures of the aniline here, on the nitrogen, aniline also which containing the lone pair of electrons, but which involves in a resonance. So because of the resonance character here, nitrogen electrons which donates its electrons to the benzene ring, hence it will get at ortho and para position, this benzene ring will get the minus charge, whereas on the nitrogen which will carries the plus charge. Whereas in alkyl amines, here no resonance structures, this lone pair of electrons will be remain on the nitrogen, so readily it will gives to the another deficient substance. Whereas in this aniline, here this compound involves in a resonance, so this on the nitrogen lone pair of electrons are not readily available, hence compare these two compounds, alkyl amines more basic strength than compared to the aniline. Here we can say the two factors, one is here it is the plus IE group, whereas it is the minus IE group. Here no resonance structures, whereas aniline which involves in a resonance structures. So hence here on the nitrogen, these electrons are readily not available to donate to the other substance. Hence, alkyl amines are more basic than anilines. Next, very important topic, that is phase transfer catalyst. Here, Coming to the definition of phase transfer catalyst, which is based on the ability of certain phase transfer agents to facilitate the transport of one reagent from one phase into another phase wherein the other reagent exists. That means phase transfer catalyst is nothing but which transport one substance to one solution to the another solution, which two are immiscible. And this reaction is made possible by bringing together the reagents which are originally in different phases. It is also necessary that the transferred space is easy and active state for effective PT catalytic action, and that it is regenerated during the organic reactions. So this is the definition of the phase transfer catalyst. So there are the many different types of the phase transfer catalyst which are available, like quaternary ammonium salts, phosphonium salts, crown ethers, generally which are used as a phase transfer catalyst. One is quaternary ammonium salts, phosphonium salts, and crown ethers. And among these, the quaternary ammonium salts are the cheapest and hence the most widely used in industry. Ammonium salts are used as mostly widely used in industry as phase transfer catalyst. For example, if you see in this reaction here, this is the alkyl halide. This alkyl halide, which is a organic compound, so which is soluble in organic solvents like ether. Whereas sodium cyanide, this sodium cyanide is a polar compound which is soluble in aqueous solution. Whereas this compound is a non-polar compound which is soluble in ether solvent. Whereas the sodium cyanide is a polar compound which is soluble in aqueous solution. If you mix these alkyl halide and the sodium cyanide, after several days also, if you mix continuously also, this reactant will be remain in organic solvent, that is ether, and this reactant will be remain in aqueous solution, that is water. They never combine together and form the products without adding any further additional substance. Because this is compound is soluble only in ether and this compound is soluble in water. These organic solvents, aqueous solvents, they are completely immiscible. So they won't come close to form the product until unless when we add some another substance. So here to get the reaction, here what we are adding? We are adding the phase transfer catalyst. Phase transfer catalyst. That means this phase transfer catalyst we can add, we can use as quaternary ammonium salts, phosphonium salts, or crown ethers. What is this role of this phase transfer catalyst here? This phase transfer catalyst, because this compound can have both non-polar nature as well as polar nature. That means this compound can dissolve organic solvents as well as aqueous solvents. So this compound can dissolve in both the solvents and also carries the one of the reagent from aqueous phase to the organic phase. That means it's changing the phase from one phase to bringing the ligand or nucleophile or reagent from one phase to another phase, then where the reaction will takes place. So if you see here mechanism of this PTC, here in the first step, here so here this is the complete organic phase, this is the aqueous phase, and these two phases never miscible because these two are completely immiscible. And with alkyl halide, that will dissolve in organic solvents, whereas sodium chloride, sodium cyanide, which is soluble in aqueous phase. So if we keep the 1 month also, this reaction won't complete because no contact of between the two reactants. So for those reaction, we have to add the phase transfer catalyst. Here has phase transfer catalyst, we are adding the quaternary ammonium salt. So here, this is the quaternary ammonium salts here, which is acting as a phase transfer catalyst. So which can soluble in both aqueous solvent as well as organic solvents. See here, this can move organic solvents as well as aqueous solvents because this compound is having polar nature as well as non-polar nature. Hence, as because of this having the polar nature which is soluble in aqueous phase, as well as this compound also having the non-polar nature, hence which is also soluble in organic phase. And coming to the mechanism of this PTC, here quaternary ammonium halide dissolved in aqueous phase, that is Q plus X minus, and here which undergoes anion exchange with the anion of the reactant dissolved in aqueous solution. So here which is dissolved here, which react with the ligand, and here this one is will exchange the ligand exchange will take place with the PTC. So here this product will form. Now the ion pair formed Q plus X minus can cross the liquid-liquid interface due to its lipophilic nature and diffuses from the interface into the organic phase. This step being the phase transfer. Here, after exchanging the ligand, here now this one is moves from this phase to aqueous phase to the organic phase. This is called as phase transfer. So here, after coming here, again which will react with the one another reactant here. Here again this ligands will exchange takes place. Here what will happen? Final product will form. In the organic phase, the anion of the ion pair being quite nucleophilic undergoes a nucleophilic substitution reaction with the organic reagent forming the desired product, that is the RY. So the catalyst subsequently returns to the aqueous phase and the cycle continues. So after formation of the product, again phase transfer catalyst will be generated, again which will move to the aqueous phase, again which will react with the ligand and which will exchange here with the phase transfer catalyst. Again this phase transfer catalyst in next step which moves to the organic phase. In the organic phase which react with the here nucleophilic substitution reaction takes place and finally forms the product. So this cycle will continue until unless all the reactants will react together and forms the product. And overview of this PTC reactions is given in the schematic below. This is the complete phase transfer catalyst mechanism. And for example, if you see another example of this PTC reaction, this is the benzoyl chloride. This is the organic compound which is soluble in ether, whereas sodium cyanide, this is the aqueous polar compound which is soluble in water. So this is soluble in ether, this is soluble in water. So for this reaction also we have to add the phase transfer catalyst. Here phase transfer catalyst is used as a quaternary ammonium salt. So here what will happen, this phase transfer catalyst which carries this cyanide from aqueous solvent to the organic solvent, where this chlorine will be exchanged with the cyanide. That means nucleophilic substitution reaction will take place in organic solvent. After exchanging, again this phase transfer catalyst moves from the organic phase to again aqueous phase. Like that the products will be formed. This is the role of phase transfer catalyst. So similarly, we can see another picture here, which is the aqueous phase. If you mix the reactant, organic compound will dissolve in aqueous phase, whereas non-polar compound which is soluble in organic phase. Here in these two solvents, aqueous compound, aqueous solvent which is having the more density, hence which is always settling down, whereas organic compound which is having the less denser, hence which will be settling top. So this phase transfer catalyst always first in the aqueous solvent which exchange with the ligand and which forms this one and which moves to the aqueous phase to the organic phase, where which reacts with the nucleophilic substitution reaction will take place. So X will be exchanged with the Y. So finally which product will form, and finally This phase transfer catalyst will be generated again, which moves from the organic phase to aqueous phase. This cycle will continue until unless all the reactants will be formed as a product. This is about the phase transfer catalyst. So coming to the chemical properties of the amines. So first chemical property is alkylation. As we are all know, amines are having the nucleophilic nature because on the nitrogen which containing the lone pair of electrons. So hence in all the chemical properties we are going to discuss about the nucleophilic substitution. Amines are involved in a nucleophilic substitution reaction. Here, if you see in this alkylation, here it is the methylamine where nitrogen is having the lone pair of electron which reacts with the methyl bromide. In this methyl bromide, bromine is a more electronegative atom, hence it will get partial negative charge, whereas methyl group will get the partial positive charge, so which donates its electrons to the methyl group. So simultaneously, bromine is eliminated as a bromide. Here nitrogen which is donated electrons to the methyl group, hence on the nitrogen which will get the plus charge. To neutralize this charge, here nitrogen will take this hydrogen bonding electrons here. So here H is liberates as a H plus and Br liberates as a Br minus. So finally which eliminates as a HBr. So from methylamine, primary amine, when it reacts with the alkyl halide, which produces the dimethylamine, this is the secondary amine. This is secondary amine, that is dimethylamine, further again which reacts with the methyl bromide, again which produces the tertiary amine. Again further this trimethylamine, when it reacts with the methyl bromide, finally which produces the quaternary ammonium salt. Quaternary ammonium salt. So this is the alkylation. And the next reaction is the acylation. So here amines, when it reacts with the acyl chloride, so in this one also, here it is involved in a nucleophilic substitution reaction. So nitrogen which having the lone pair of electrons which donates its electrons to the carbonyl carbon, and simultaneously which eliminates the chlorine. So here, because nitrogen donated its electrons to the carbonyl carbon, hence in this case, here nitrogen will get the positive charge. To neutralize its positive charge, here nitrogen will take its bonding electrons, that is hydrogen electrons, and liberates here as H plus. This H plus and Cl minus eliminates as a HCl. Finally, which produces the R, NH, C double bond O, R dash. This is the amide product, NH, C double bond O. This linkage is called as amide. So in this acylation process, amines will be converted into amide. So in the next chemical reaction, that is carbylamine reaction, very important. In this carbylamine reaction, only primary amine, when it reacts with the chloroform, 3 moles of the potassium hydroxide, that is the base, then primary amine will be converted into the alkyl isocyanate. In the laboratory also, whether that compound is a primary amine or not, by doing this carbylamine test, we will confirm whether that given sample is the primary amine or not. So whenever with this primary amine, when it reacts with the chloroform and base, suppose it produces the alkyl isocyanate, which indicates the presence of the primary amine. And also the byproducts are KCl and water molecule. Here, which is applicable only for this is carbylamine test only for the primary amine. Here alkyl group may be the ethyl group or may be the aromatic phenyl ring. So but the amine is here only one alkyl group only should be present here. So coming to the mechanism of this reaction, in the first step, chloroform, when it reacts with the base, that is OH minus, this base will abstract the proton here. Because here, this carbon which containing the 3 minus IE groups, those are electron withdrawing groups. Hence, this carbon which is attached with the 3 minus IE groups, so easily which liberates the H plus group here. So by removing this H plus in the presence of the base, this chloroform will form the trichloro trichlorocarbanion will be produced. This trichlorocarbanion is unstable, and by removing the one of the chlorine here as a Cl minus, which produces the dichlorocarbene. In this dichlorocarbene, which containing the valency electrons only the 6, because it made only 2 bonds with the chlorines, another one lone pair of electrons are present here, so total which containing only the 6 electrons. So hence it is called as a, which is not satisfied with the octet rule, hence which is called as a electrophile. But this electrophile, this compound does not have any charge on the species, hence this compound dichlorocarbene is called as a neutral electrophile. So that means this compound is having one vacant p orbital, hence this compound is called as neutral electrophile. In the next step, after formation of this neutral electrophile, this primary amine, where which is compound is acting as a base, which reacts with the dichlorocarbene, which donates its bond lone pair of electrons to this dichlorocarbene. So here, by donating its electron, which makes the bond between the carbon and nitrogen. Here, nitrogen, which is donated its lone pair of electrons, hence nitrogen will get the positive charge, whereas this electrons will be taken by the dichlorocarbene, hence carbon will get minus charge. And here by donating its bonding electrons of the hydrogen, which donates its bonding electrons to here, and simultaneously this chlorine will eliminate as a Cl minus. Hence this group is eliminated as HCl. The remaining charges will be as it is here, because of the shifting of this bonding electrons here, which makes the pi bond, one more pi bond here. And in the next step again, which donates its bonding electrons here, simultaneously this Cl also will eliminate as a Cl minus. Again here also one more pi bond will form. So like this, which produces the alkyl isocyanide. So NC, R is connected with the nitrogen, NC. So this is the indication of whether that compound is having the primary amine or not. This is about the carbylamine reaction. In this carbylamine reaction, primary amines, when which reacts with the chloroform in the presence of the base, which produces the alkyl isocyanide. So in this mechanism, first chloroform, when it reacts with the base subtracts the proton here, because which containing the all the 3 minus IE groups, which produces the trichlorocarbanion. This trichlorocarbanion, which is unstable, so by liberating the Cl minus, which produces the dichlorocarbene. This dichlorocarbene is a neutral electrophile. So alkylamine, by donating its lone pair of electrons to the dichlorocarbene, which makes the bond between the nitrogen as well as carbon. Here from this group, HCl will eliminate. This is the elimination reaction. So by whenever eliminating one mole group, one new bond will form. And from here also one mole HCl will eliminate, and it makes the one more new bond like this, which produces the alkyl isocyanide. So today we discussed about the physical properties of the amines and basic nature of the amines. Among all these amines, primary, secondary, tertiary amines, generally as plus IE groups are increases, the basic nature also should increase. But here only one condition, here few exemptions are there. Here in the tertiary amine, as steric, because of the steric hindrance in aqueous solution, because of the steric repulsions, tertiary amine basic strength will be less as compared to the secondary and primary amine. So basic strength order in the aqueous solution, secondary amine, then primary amine, then tertiary amine. As comparison of alkyl amine basic strength and aromatic amine basic strength, here in this alkyl amine, this alkyl group is acting as a plus IE group, whereas in aromatic amine, this group is acting as a minus IE group. Hence, among these two, and here there is no involvement of the resonance, but here which involves in the resonance, hence alkyl amine basic strength is more as compared to the aromatic amine. And also we have studied about the phase transfer catalyst. Here quaternary ammonium salts are acting as a phase transfer catalyst. The compounds which are which are soluble in different the reactants which are soluble in different solvents. So for in the such cases, if we have to add the another additional substance, that substance is called as phase transfer catalyst, which carries the ligands from one solvent to the another solvent. Here, as a phase transfer catalyst, quaternary ammonium salts, phosphonium salts, brown ethers generally used. So here, without adding here the phase transfer catalyst, no reaction will be occur. Here, by adding the phase transfer catalyst, what will happen? Here carries the ligands from the aqueous phase to the organic phase, then where the reaction will takes place. These are the some few chemical reactions we have studied. So next class we will discuss about the remaining chemical properties of the amines. Thank you for your patience listening.